What if I told you that the very words coming out of your mouth right now are either making you a millionaire or keeping you broke? Think about this for a moment. Every morning you wake up, and the first words you speak are literally programming your financial reality. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, but with the same creative force that spoke the universe into existence. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Yet most people have no idea they're walking around with a loaded weapon in their mouth, either building wealth or destroying it with every casual comment, every unconscious complaint, every throwaway phrase about money. Here's what's fascinating about human behavior. We've been taught that wealth comes from working harder, getting better jobs, making smarter investments, or finding the right opportunities. Has this ever happened to you? You've tried all the traditional methods, the budgeting, the side hustles, the networking events, yet somehow true financial breakthrough remains just out of reach. That's because you've been trying to solve a spiritual problem with physical solutions. The revolutionary truth that Florence Scovel Shinn discovered over a century ago, and what quantum physics is now proving, is that you don't become wealthy. You reveal wealth that already exists in the invisible realm. Right now, as you're watching this video, there's a version of you in the spiritual dimension who is already a multi-millionaire. Every contract, every opportunity, every dollar that will ever flow into your life is already complete in what she called the invisible warehouse of divine supply. But here's where it gets mind-bending. And stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might surprise you. The only thing standing between you and that spiritual wealth is not your education, your background, your connections, or even your current circumstances. It's the words you speak, not just the formal declarations you might make in prayer or meditation, but every single word that flows from your lips throughout the day. When you say, "I can't afford that," you're not describing your current bank balance. You're issuing a legal command to the universe to maintain your lack. When you complain about bills, joke about being broke, or casually mention how expensive everything is, you're not just making conversation. You're legislating your financial reality through the court of divine law. This isn't about positive thinking or manifestation techniques you might have heard before. This is about understanding that your words carry the same creative authority that God used when He declared, "Let there be light." You see, when you say, "I am," you're not describing a desire or stating a goal. You're wielding divine authority. You're stepping into the same creative power that shaped the cosmos. Most people have been unconsciously using this power in reverse. They speak their fears instead of their faith, their problems instead of their provision, their current limitations instead of their divine identity. And then they wonder why their financial situation never seems to change despite all their efforts and hard work. The ancient wisdom traditions knew this secret. The mystics understood it. Successful people throughout history have stumbled upon it, often without realizing the spiritual principles they were activating. But now, for the first time, you're going to understand exactly how to harness this power deliberately and systematically. If you're serious about transforming your relationship with money through spiritual authority, and you want more of these profound revelations delivered regularly, hit that subscribe button. I'm here to guide you through this journey of financial awakening, one powerful truth at a time. What you're about to learn isn't theory. It's the exact spiritual technology that has created millionaires throughout history. The same principles that transformed a struggling artist into a financial success, that turned impossible situations into miraculous breakthroughs, that converted empty bank accounts into overflowing abundance. But first, you need to understand why everything you've been taught about wealth creation has been keeping you trapped in a cycle of financial limitation, and how a simple shift in the words you speak can unlock the hidden truth about your divine financial identity that's been buried under years of societal programming. You see, there's a specific phrase that acts as a master key to the treasury of heaven, and it's been hiding in plain sight your entire life. When Moses encountered the burning bush and asked God for his name, the response wasn't a casual introduction. It was the revelation of the most powerful creative force in the universe. I am that I am. This wasn't poetry or religious symbolism. This was God revealing the fundamental password that unlocks all creation. Every time you say, I am, you're not just making a statement about yourself. You're accessing the same divine authority that spoke galaxies into existence. But here's the revelation that will transform your entire approach to wealth. Most people have been using this sacred password to lock themselves into poverty instead of unlocking abundance. Think about the transformation that happens in your mind when you realize that saying, I am broke, carries the exact same creative power as saying, I am wealthy. The universe doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It simply responds to the authority behind your words. When you declare, I am struggling, you're using divine power to create struggle. When you say, I am trying to make ends meet, you're programming yourself to remain in a state of trying, never actually succeeding. This is where the journey becomes truly fascinating. Behind the scenes of every successful person's life, you'll find this principle operating whether they consciously understood it or not. They spoke their identity before they lived it. They declared their success before they achieved it. They aligned their mouth with their vision, not their current circumstances. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic because there's a crucial mindset shift that must happen before any external transformation can occur. Right now, in this very moment, you are already wealthy in the spiritual realm. Your divine nature lacks nothing. The gap between where you are financially and where you want to be isn't actually a gap of time, effort, or external resources. It's a gap of alignment between what you say and what heaven already knows to be true about you. This revelation changes everything about your approach to money and success. Instead of trying to become wealthy, you're simply bringing your spoken words into agreement with your spiritual reality. Instead of working to create abundance, you're allowing your mouth to catch up with heaven's